you're doing well. Tonight we are here to for the third week of ODBJ, our different budgeting journeys, a series started by Budgeting April. If you haven't checked out Budgeting April, please go to her channel and do so after this video. So tonight I'm going to talk about how I budget. Now, everybody budgets differently and everybody's budget is different, so that makes sense. The first thing I would say is if you're considering starting budgeting, just start. You don't need anything fancy. You don't need all the accessories that we all end up getting eventually. You just need a pencil, a paper, and the goal of saving. So, oh, I just knocked my phone off, but that's okay, I don't need it. So, before I started this system of budgeting, I always just wrote my bills on a calendar, and they're all auto drafts, so they just come out. So I do kind of a hybrid system. I do mostly auto draft for my bills. I save for my savings and sinking funds, and then we use a credit card for purchases for the points, but we pay it off weekly. So anyway, first of all, when I first started, besides that, I just got my son's old reading folder from school that he didn't use the whole thing. And I first started just doing my side hustles. So I just did a few envelopes each week. And you'll see that's what I did. And then I moved on to my regular budget. And I still, 8 months later, am still just using this notebook. I will finish out the year with this notebook, and then I will start another notebook. There are so many different ways to budget. There's no wrong way. For me, this is what works. I write down my envelopes and what I'm putting in them. And then after I'm done, I put what was in them just so I can check if I make a mistake. So that's what I do. As far as my planner, at first I just used a paper calendar. Now I actually use this planner. This specific planner I got from Penny Pincher on Facebook. And it has all the months in it, and it has different things and stickers. But anyway, I go through and I write down, so if you look at October, I write down my goals, and then I write down what my expenses are in orange. I write down deposits I get in green. I highlight when my bills have come out of my account. If there's like a special payment, I'll put that in here. This is my 6-month insurance premium that will be due this month. The pink ink is my round down. Every Thursday I round down in my 2 accounts. So I take the 3 digits and I round them down to 0. The top one goes to my mortgage principal, and the second one goes to my money market account. And then every day or every couple days, I try to do daily, but I'm not always successful, I write down our charges. And so that's what the blue is, not this one. And then if we have no spends, you'll see those stickers. So this is October. Like on Sunday, everything we spent. And then Sunday, I go and I take out of our envelopes and pay our credit cards. So every week I pay off our credit cards for the spending. And I take the money out of the envelopes for that week's spending. So here I'll get ready. I'm getting ready to do last week's, which starts here and ends here. So I will pull the money for these. We actually did really good on spending last week, so it's not going to be much. It's mostly groceries. We didn't eat out. So that's how I do it. So that way I pay my credit cards every week. I still get the points or the cash back. It does make me acknowledge exactly what I'm spending. And then when I get my next check, I take into account what bills I have. And then that's how I decide what each of my sinking funds is going to get. And this is how my sinking funds look. I actually have 3 binders for regular income: car, HOA, car insurance, car maintenance, car registration. You could do these in white envelopes and just one car fund, right? debt, because that happens to be my goal right now, is paying off my mortgage, education, household, sports, tolls. Now I've broke it down to really, really small envelopes and goals. You don't have to. You could have like 5. You could have bills, car, rent, however works for you. That's what's important, and that's what's good about budgeting, is it is flexible to whatever your budget is. Even if you don't have enough money to pay your bills, which is not a fun place to be in, I've been in that place, you can still write down what your bills are and make sure that you're taking care of those first. Now for my variables, I do keep cash in my purse in envelopes. So eat out is how much we can eat out each week. Kids is just for extra spending. Groceries, now this is just if I have to run in and grab something. This isn't like our weekly groceries. I do that on a credit card. Miscellaneous and spending. And I do these weekly because we get paid. My husband gets paid weekly and I get paid bi-weekly. And that's how I budget. It has really changed since I started doing this method with the funds and the savings and the savings challenges. So I've slowly added more, like my sons, I have savings accounts for them. And then I do use prop money. So I have an account at SoFi that you can break down into different buckets. And so I use placeholders for those. That way I'm getting interest on those and creating kind of a passive income on those. And then even if you just start one savings challenge, if you have the money, you could just save any single dollars you get. That's what I'm doing here. Or you could just save your coin. You could just start small if you have the money. If you don't, that's okay too. Pay your bills, start there. This is my side hustle binder. When I started budgeting, I got a second job so that I could afford to start budgeting before I changed to all this. So this is, I keep my side hustle money separate, and I do savings challenges, and I have extra money and savings and debt. And that's how I did it. I started doing Uber and Instacart and DoorDash just to start saving. That's my taxes. And then this binder here is all my savings challenges that I didn't start off doing, but I have slowly built up to, and I have different savings challenges that I'm doing. But you don't have to. You don't have to do any of that, but you can. So the more you get into it, the better you get yourself financially, the more you can do and you can add. But my recommendation is get a notebook, a pencil, some white envelopes, or a Filofax, or whatever you already have on hand, and just get started. The only thing I regret is not starting sooner. This keeps me really organized. If somebody, like if something happened to me and somebody needed to know what bills we had when, they could easily go back month to month and see, oh, she paid that on this time, that on this time. This was my last month, and yeah, we had a lot of spending in this month, but you can see I accounted for it all. I know what I spent when, I know what I made, I know how many no spends I had. You could use this for workouts, like I used to check my workouts. Like you could use this for all of your goals. So this is how I budget. This is not, and then there is a worksheet in the back that I sometimes do. I don't always fill it out. When I first started, I did, because it helped me understand what I was spending on everything. And then once I kind of figured it out, I went from there. There are so many different binders out there that you could use. I don't know if you guys can see this, but you can see I felt it out. I probably will get a different binder for next year, but this is currently what I use now. But you could definitely just use a piece of paper and a printed out calendar and a couple of white envelopes and get started. All right, guys, if you have any questions for me, please leave them down below. I hope this helped you if you're trying to decide to get started, or if you did get started and you wanted to change it up a bit. I am always changing up my binders and my envelopes and how much money goes to them based on what I need for that payment. Budgeting is flexible, so my advice is just get started. All right, don't forget to watch the rest of the ODBJ channels. Following me is Tidy with Toya, and I will have them all linked below. I hope you guys all have a good week, and we'll see you soon. Bye.